moonlit night finds you in Paris, once again living on the streets of a bustling capital, like the old days that you can hardly remember. You fish into your pocket and feel it, the magic glass you've lost so much and fought so hard for. Making your way out of the alleyway, you pull the glass out and examine it, looking at its luster, when you're blinded by a flash of light as something from above catches the glass and reflects into your eyes. You stare up at the sky, full of stars, clear without a cloud in sight, and tentatively, slowly raise your hand. Through the glass, one of those stars burns bright, like eyes in the night. Welcome back to A Single Sip, a real play podcast where we are playing 1,000-Year-Old Vampire, which is available on the website 1000yearoldvampire.com,
I believe.
Yep, .com. I am the games master, or shall I say game helper, Morgan, and with me, as always, is
the vampire Cuddy Wallstruck. I am Ian.
Yep. Now you have a rules correction for me regarding ending the game.
See, I got pretty attached to Cuddy, and I want him to live as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So when you don't have a skill to check, you actually lose a resource instead, or vice versa.
Okay.
But when a substitution occurs, narrate the worst possible outcome.
Which, of course, means you die, right? Because that's the worst.
I think you should live on in misery.
Okay.
But we'll see what kind of deals we can strike.
Well, I can be pretty creative in my misery, so we will see. Last time we left off, we had just finished prompt number 20, and so which saw you fleeing to Paris, chased by the Carte Blanche, another monster hunting organization.
That's right.
Similar to the Earl, which you gave immortality last episode, I believe. So why don't you roll the dice and we see where the future takes us and whether you follow these eyes in the dark, follow this star in the sky to wherever it leads.
Well, before I follow these leads, I just want to hang a few hanging threads.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Bring them up so I remember them.
So, like we just got the glimpse of here, there's this glass that has mystery around it. There's this statue that I've got with organs inside.
Yes, the statuette that has mummified organs inside of it that you pulled out of a box from Egypt.
And a little bit like myself personally, forgetting what happened in the earlier episodes, Cuddy also has lost so much. He doesn't know how he became a vampire, but he knows he's stalking the eyes, and he's hungry about that.
He's also hungry about garbage.
Oh, yes, of course. He also has his mother hanging around as some sort of restless spirit haunting his nights.
Following your shoulders.
Or his days, if he sleeps during the days.
I think any waking moment. We haven't really clarified much about how much what Cuddy can go about in sunlight. It hasn't seemed to be a problem yet, particularly.
He certainly doesn't like it.
No. You're better suited to the night with your cat eyes.
And then there's two people hunting him down. There's the Earl, he's been changed, and the Carte Blanche, the monster hunter organization, fronted by François Leblanc. Okay, so I wanna see where some of these.
Where these threads lead us.
Yeah, let's see where this star in the night leads us.
Well, then roll the dice. Get it over with. Is that a 6 or a 1?
It is a 1. We're going forwards. We're going forward 2.
Okay, that's a good sign. We don't want to go backwards. 2. Create a mortal character. You have shaped them from infancy to be exactly what you want. Lose a resource. So here, Cuddy has found someone in the streets of Paris and has spent a resource to shape them into a useful tool.
I kind of think he needs a mother figure.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough.
I think that he's trying to replace this restless spirit.
Quiet her down. Now, you have in the past found people, made friends with people by stealing their milk off of their doorsteps. Is that likely to be something that he returned to in Paris without a reliable supply chain of
Probably.
food?
But we've got this star, right? That he's following. What if he comes to a child in a manger
Okay.
under the star?
Classic. I was thinking maybe it leads you to one of the houses of the early Egyptologists.
Ooh, okay.
Napoleon has died by this point, I think, because we're in the early to mid 1800s. The Napoleonic War's over.
Okay.
But the artifacts, which came from Egypt, have come back. So maybe you've come to a house of one of the people who is working feverishly. Gosh, I don't know if they're in Paris, but they are now. Feverishly working on deciphering a Rosetta Stone to be the first to understand Egyptian hieroglyphs and get an eye into that ancient world which has been lost to time.
Yeah, and so this is from infancy, right? Maybe I like stumble upon one of their children, and I, maybe they're not as scared as me, as some adults might be.
Yeah.
And I start feeding them information, getting them to bring me pieces of the Rosetta Stone, pieces of knowledge, artifacts, if I may.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start collecting more of these artifacts. So we don't have to go with that. I would say, what resource are we losing here? What are you going to be ticking off? And then what is the thing you want to get from this mortal character, which I guess would be information about Egypt. Old notebooks and ledgers that you can read through, although you can't read, so that wouldn't be helpful.
I think I'm going to exchange the chipped looking glass with them. Okay. I'm going to show them how it changes the light, how things look different.
You can see things through it.
And I'm going to use that to get their curiosity.
A magic man from the outside.
Yeah.
Stranger with strange powers.
So I'm going to cross that off again.
Okay.
And I like where this is going. So I lose the resource, but I gain the character. So I imagine that they're probably in their early adulthood now. Maybe they're like 17 kind of thing.
Okay.
And I've been a constant figure on and off for
maybe they were a child of one of the people working at a museum. Egyptology, we'll say. We won't be too specific. And they were helping around the museum, cleaning up, learning things, and they've been growing older, and you kind of helped spark this curiosity in them of strange things with this gift of a magical artifact, and they've become interested in sort of the more occultic elements of Egyptology. They've been working, learning to read hieroglyphics, maybe now that they've been translated. During their childhood, even. Very exciting.
Yeah.
First look into a completely lost world. And you've now got this teenager who's helping out around the museum, moving artifacts out, cleaning them, maintaining them, can feed you information. We just need a name.
What about Demetrius? And I realize that's not French, but I wonder...
No. It sounds vaguely Latin. Demetrius, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe he's from like Spain or something, and his family moved here.
Okay.
To study this.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. That seems fun. Yeah, that's a good name. Good name as anything.
Okay. Let me scratch it right here.
His family was academics in Spain. They supported the Napoleonic regime in Spain, and when the Spanish and the British and Portuguese fought, conquered. It's very Spanish to be reconquering things. When they liberated the peninsula, he fled to Paris to keep working on these artifacts, and turned his back on this. The father of Demetrius turned his back on his country. Okay.
I think there's an interesting story that came out of that.
There's a lot interesting here. You certainly have your hands on another hint. We might even be able to leverage this towards maybe an expedition into the deserts. You might be able to find more artifacts. If I figure out where this the statue it came from.
I love it. Let's go on an expedition.
Well, we'll see what the dice have in store for us, because he might be dead in two turns.
Okay, I'm rolling up an expedition. We've got that is 5 forwards. Okay. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, you're right. Just checking. Sorry, those of you listening. I'm not used to having both the 1 and the 6 be symbols. So that would be 7. Wars rage throughout the region in which you reside. You withdraw into a hidden retreat, waiting for them to pass, lose a resource. Now, the only war that would affect Paris that I can think of is one that I mentioned briefly before we started recording, specifically because I didn't know much about it, which is the Prussian invasion of France. We looked this up for just in case we had a war pop up in the 1870s, which would be. Demetrius would probably be getting into his 50s at this point.
Oh man, so much for the expedition.
Hey, that doesn't mean the expedition isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And maybe Demetrius even knows that you're an immortal, and maybe you've promised him things, or he has a stronger relationship with you because of that.
Mm-hmm.
He appreciates your sort of, as a person who is interested in history, having someone on hand who can remember living through things that happened, 100 years ago could be very interesting.
Withdrawing to a hidden retreat. I could go with the obvious and go with the Paris catacombs, go underground. But what if I took a retreat to Egypt?
You really want to go?
Yeah, I do.
It's fine. Maybe he's worked his way up. He's taken over his father's business. And news of this war comes, even though it was a notoriously quick war.
Don't need to wait too long.
Yeah, there's rumors that the war might start, and you don't want to be here when the Prussians come if they do. And so you say, now is the time. I can't wait any longer. We need to go to Egypt, to the Valley of Kings, or some other place where Demetrius is doing field work.
I have to leverage.
For the British.
A resource for this.
Yes.
I think I need to leverage the stone statue.
Okay.
I think I need to, come out. This is an important artifact. I want to go be there and go explore more.
Mm-hmm. I have this canoptic jar. I need to find out where this came from. Well, I suppose it could have... Why am I doing British? I can't do a good French accent, especially like a specifically like middle to late aged French academic. I don't even want to try. I'm not even going to try. Spanish French as well. There's multiple layers here. Oh boy. Please, go ahead, I'll play you. I'm happy doing that. You look like you were about to start.
I was going to start as Cuddy, because, no, I don't know how to do it either, but... I have this jar.
Oh, oui, c'est bon.
that I need to know more about.
Qu'est-ce que tu parles en français, s'il vous plaît?
Oh,
you've lived here for 50 years. You should be able to do this.
She said jar. Je besoin de savoir plus à propos.
Ah oui, on y va.
On y va, à l'Égypte.
Allons à l'Égypte. If only it was that easy. Yeah, so you're off. I think going to the Valley of Kings might make sense. There's a lot of tombs there, and this is an artifact which he recognizes as being from a tomb.
Yeah.
This was used to hold someone's mummified organs as part of their mummification, a ritual which was designed to preserve the body while the spirit went on to live in the afterlife. In many ways, that's linked with immortality, almost like I planned it. Almost.
Do you think we have a pyramid in particular that he thinks it's from?
Well, I don't think the Valley of Kings has that many pyramids.
Okay.
Sort of like as I understand it, it's like a canyon valley that has a lot of hidden tombs.
Okay.
In it, rather than a lot of which were robbed.
This one,
this one was also robbed. Yeah, you're gonna get there and there's gonna be some soot marks on the walls, a cracked door, maybe. But maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe the person who got it barely got that and escaped from whatever terror was lurking within. We will find out. And we could only find out, are you rolling those dice? Which I see you reaching for.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Now, you're writing these down as memories, right?
No.
Okay,
No.
You should be writing these down as memories.
So, I need to...
You've got 2, by the way. You made friends with this kid, and now you're going on an expedition. So you've got to write 2 memories down in your slots.
Okay, so I'm just going to cut evade monster hunters through art. I have a block that I was building there. I'm just cutting it.
Count Blanche, who are they?
Yeah, Count Blanche, goodbye. So I'm gonna have...
Hopefully they don't have an Egyptian chapter.
Right? You know, you play this game and then you totally forget about the memories part, the main component.
Uh-huh.
Befriend Demetrius.
Mm-hmm.
And retreat to Egypt. Okay, this is part of my expedition.
Memories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you don't want to start a journal.
I have a journal. It's the one with my immortal friend.
Ah, yes, that's very important.
That's got meeting Slom, stalking the eyes, and my ghostly mother haunts me.
Yes. If you forget that, you will forget Slom almost entirely. You'll remember killing him. In quotation marks. We don't know if Slom is truly can be destroyed. You'll forget the eyes.
I only have 4 resources. Like, my diary is on the chopping block.
I only have 4.
I have no skills.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens when you roll those dice.
Let's go backwards, get some skills for this
I
expedition.
don't think so.
That
We're staying still.
is a 6 and a 6.
Your secretive ways result in you being arrested as a spy. You're caught by the British in Egypt.
Oh, man.
Or maybe the Ottomans. Check a skill to escape or lose a resource and gain a mark from the experiments performed upon you. Either way, create a mortal who heads a well-funded organization that imperils creatures such as yourself.
I think maybe...
Has Count Blanche returned?
I think Count Blanche. I wasn't expecting them.
We were waiting for you.
And their Egyptian chapter came for me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you have to check a skill of which you have none, correct?
Or lose a resource and gain a mark. So, yeah,
so
I'm
caught by Count Blanche. They performed strange experiments to try to understand you. We can figure out what those are in a moment. That's going to be related to your mark.
Yeah.
It's going to leave a scar on your body. What resource do you think you have that is most interesting to Count Blanche? Or that you might lose trying to escape them? And failing.
I said I had 4. Actually, I only have 3. The first one is just resources.
I think I'd like to get rid of the resources box heading.
So, I have my diary, I have my washing bin plus bleach,
Oh my gosh.
and my secret cabal machine blood cult.
You must have... Okay. Well... One of those things probably doesn't...
I don't think that the washing bin is worth losing. Like, it
to be
doesn't make
honest
sense
with
to
you,
lose
the only
here.
thing here that makes sense to lose is your diary. I'm sorry to
So-
say. Your science occult group was in England about 70 years ago, or 80 years ago.
I think my diary's gone.
Now, I want to say it's possible that we could have this return, so let's just put a little asterisk next to it for now. Because I'm going to say that they have... Okay, you crossed it out, that's fine.
I can still read it, but yeah.
You can still read it, okay, unlike your character. Because it's just drawings. I think they've captured you, they've gone through your luggage, they found this diary of your life, and this pictographic diary of your life, and to try and understand you and also other immortal creatures, you know, what created you, what is this garbage mound underneath London, who is this apparition, or ghost real, or is he gone mad over the centuries? Just as they're tearing through your body to better understand you and your immortality, they're also tearing through your journal, trying to understand you and other things that you've interacted with in your life. And so it's possible that we will have an interaction with a society that gets you a resource, and you might find it again in the future, but for now it's lost to you. So, what kind of experiments is Count Blanche doing on you?
I think
I have an idea, but
Oh.
I want you to shoot your idea first because we can always go double back on one.
I was thinking that maybe they cut off my swelling pussy hand. They just like this is obviously some sort of infected thing. Like cut it off and see if that heals better. But it doesn't. It just infects more of the arm.
Are they cutting the hand off or are they skinning the hand?
I think they cut the hand off.
And they're seeing if a new hand grows?
No, if that
stump will be
is related to my condition.
right. Is this just like he's been alive for a long time, he's got an illness? Or okay. I was thinking maybe something to do with modification coptic jars.
Ooh.
Because you have this artifact with you kind of as part of this expedition. And so they might be trying to remove organs and see like what can you survive. You know, like
Yeah.
there's like a picture of a cat in the dark. There's this cat jar that you were writing. You had drawings of in your journal, maybe. There's like papers that you were traveling with that were talking about Egypt and artifacts, and it's clearly why you came here. So, is mummification part of the process to create a creature like you? Is it possible to create more like you? How do they destroy one? Maybe all these ideas are related to them.
Yeah. Do you want to sink into that scene a little bit? Do you think you can take the role of François Leblanc?
Okay.
Okay.
Leblanc. Now you're sure he's strapped down properly. It's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna do it.
I love it.
You're sure he's strapped down properly? And the sedations, have they worked? No? Also, Francois Leblanc is 90 years old at this point. This is Francois Leblanc the third.
I think he's just been on my case for a while, maybe.
Again, it's been 60 years.
Yeah.
So if it's Francois Leblanc, and he was like 20 when we started, he's 80 years old now.
I think 80, 90 is great.
You're sure he's strapped down properly? I don't want him... No, we must complete the experiment before it's too late. I still have a life in me. I will pursue these creatures to the end of time. I must become one of them in order to destroy them. Yeah. I don't know why he's lecturing his henchman who's heard this all before, but...
You have come looking for me.
Why didn't you put a gag on him? You should have put a gag on him. I don't want to hear him talking. It's filthy.
Whatever you seek.
Ah! Oh, it was kind of you. I hit you with the weight of maybe 3 pounds, but it's I appreciate the it's good work.
I am a simple French man here.
Here, what have I got? We've got scalpels, yes, I've got saws. Let's get that shirt up. Excuse me, I'm gonna 1 button, 2 buttons.
And you see like the like remains of 40 lashes on his back.
Well, I'm assuming you're back to the table at this point.
Oh,
Your
okay.
arms are outstretched, your legs are outstretched, you're tied on like a stone sarcophagus in one of these tombs.
Oh,
They've
man.
tied you down to. The desert winds are blowing outside. There's some helpers there with torches, like holding up the light to try and give enough light for this elderly man to pull out the syringe and slowly start cutting down your chest, peeling the skin back to reveal the organs and the glistening muscle on your rib cage, kind of cutting into your abdominal wall, peeling back the muscles that protect your organs, and rooting through amazing pain tolerance. He's been screaming for hours. I wish you'd gag that brute. Shut him up. He's hurting my ears.
Your poor confident henchman.
Reaching into you and feeling whether your heart's beating. Oh, no heartbeat at all. No, this is very strange. His intestines are completely clean, too. He's been eating nothing but... Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, he's got nails in here and bits of garbage. Oh, never mind. And you are forced to lay there in agony as this man pokes and prods your organs and feels them. You're vivisected
Oh, man.
in this dark lit room. Maybe he cuts your heart out entirely.
Or like a piece of it.
Yeah.
So it might like regrow.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's taking his time. He's taking his time. Yeah. He's cutting off little pieces of you, like cutting open your intestines, squeezing out all the trash that you've eaten over the years, the decades, the centuries. And he leaves you there, panting as night falls, or as day rises. I don't know. Let's say day.
Yeah.
The sun rises, wiping the sweat off of his brow because he's so tired, exerting himself, torturing you. This is just foul. With the promise that, well, I'll be back again tomorrow to try some more. And he goes off, and while you're lying there in the sunlight, like peering through the opening of this tomb that you've broken into, the sun shining, knowing that it's just going to be another day of misery for however long he wants to keep you alive. That's when you hear noises outside. Pow, kapow, wham! What's that? It's your friend Demetrius and his hirelings. They've knocked out the goons, and they cut the straps, and they carry you off into the desert.
Demetrius, my boy.
Yes, I'm sure.
Not well.
You didn't think I would forget you after they seized you in Cairo? No. Think a few goons will stop me? I've been a globe-trotting archaeologist for 50 years. I've had my fair share of entanglements.
We need to go to the pyramids.
Oh, all right. You just watch yourself. I'll try and sew that wound up. And maybe that's the mark that you carry forward. You have this gash across your chest that's been crudely stitched together and never heals, and the pus gets into that, and it festers. Or not.
Yeah. I'm gonna say open. I don't know. Partially open wound.
Yeah, I feel like you staple it. You try and staple it shut. You just
try.
Yeah, but it might be weeping into your shirts. People think it's sweat because it's hot out, but no.
Okay. And where does this go?
This is an expedition memory.
Yeah. Okay.
This is an expedition memory. I mean, you could put it somewhere else, but
it's hot. And tortured in Cairo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see if we can get a little bit better luck. I would love a skill. I would love for things to go a little bit better.
We will see.
We go forward 1.
Just 1. A long-dead mortal character returns. What do they want from you? How have they survived death? You only recognize them if you still have a related memory. Check a skill. Well, we're kind of running low on time, so maybe next episode what we do is we go through those long-dead mortals that you have and see if there's any of them that you have memories of, and see exactly who this person is, how they found you, and what they want. Thank you very much for listening. This has been a single sip. I will say adieu.
We'll see you next time.
Yes, we will.
Thank you for listening to A Single Sip, an actual play podcast of a 1,000-year-old vampire. For more world-building content, check out gnomishnotions.blogspot.com.